The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten Volume 2 Review. Near the start of the year, I had the chance to swap my isekai novels for the new romantic comedy, The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. Now the series is back for Volume 2 and I'm eager to find out how the relationship between the main characters is progressing. The story picks up on New Year's Eve, which Amane and Mahiro are spending together. In fact, they spend the majority of their time off school together, 6 months as friends, with Mahiro coming over to cook and generally look after Amane. So heading into the new year, our protagonist wishes for nothing more than for these peaceful days to continue unchanged. Of course, not everything isn't peaceful over the break, as Amane is visited by his parents, who are determined to make things as awkward as possible. His mother goes on about how nice Mahiro is. In fact, his mother already believes the two are dating, and no matter how often Amane tells her it isn't true, she is unwilling to listen to reason. Also, it has to be said that, even for us readers, Amane's Daniel does little to hide the fact he's very obviously harboring romantic feelings for Mahiro, as she from him. This only becomes all the more evident when the series fast forwards to Valentine's Day, and the two awkwardly fumble around one another, not being sure if the show expect to exchange chocolate and then dealing with their feelings once the day is over. In Volume 1, Mahiro's feelings were more subtle. She slowly started to fall for Amane, but now it's clear she's exasperated with how obvious he is. She's had to confess outright, but her actions are more than enough for us to know she's in love with him. And the fact that Amane is clueless about this often leaves our poor heroine pointing. Rather than tell him how she feels, she wants him to ask her out himself, which doesn't seem like to happen anytime soon. It has to be said that although I am usually quite fond of wildy, one-day plots, I do find that Angels Next Door spoils me rotten. Somewhat frustrating, there is no real reason for Amane not to ask Mahiro out at this point, and any fears he ruined her peaceful friendship don't hold out the scrutiny when everyone around him is trying to get Amane to realize Mahiro likes him. In the afterworld, author Saki-san talks about keeping the status quo as it is in the following volume, so readers will be left waiting for any significant change to the relationship. I think this will be fine if things have been more or less the same as in Volume 1, but given how lovey-dovey these two are right now, I can say I'm particularly fond of the idea that they're unlikely to confess anytime soon. Having said that, I do appreciate that we get some character development for Mahiro this time around. It's hard to talk about, since it occurs near the end of the volume, but what I will say is that we finally get to find out more about her family situation. After the series spends the majority of its time being a light read, I appreciate Saiki-san taking the time to include something more dramatic in the mix. And honestly, if the romantic relationship isn't going anywhere soon, then spending time on fleshing out the cast's backstories is a smart move for keeping readers engaged. This book is also less systematic than Volume 1, and there is greater variety in the stories and situations the casts find themselves in, which is a welcome change. The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten Volume 2 comes to the West thanks to Yen Press and continues to be translated by Nicole Wilder. The translation reads well with no issues to note. Volume 3 is currently scheduled for release in December. Overall, The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten Volume 2 proves to be an improvement on the initial book in some ways. For readers that likely to get frustrated by the lack of progress with the romance, there is still enough to keep us engaged with the story otherwise, and that will hopefully see us strong. 7/10.